Hi, David. Good evening.
Good evening, teacher.
How was your day?
It was good, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, that's good to know. So we're going to start, right? Because we lost almost 20 minutes, right? Today classes was supposed to start at 6:20, but I sent a message to the group that we were supposed to start on time, right? So we're going to start. I'm going to share my screen. Today we're going to see a very interesting lesson, right? Because when we're going to write our essay, for example, if you're going to write a persuasive essay, right, that this is something that we're going to see the next week, right? That's our next lesson. Something interesting happens, right, at the moment that I'm checking for your essays, right? So this is a common mistake, right? And this is for whatever essay that you are going to write. So we have the different authors, right? When we're going to write, for example, when we're going to write an essay for present a kind of work, right? A kind of presentation for our work, right? For our jobs, or maybe for our institutes, right? For the university, for the college, right? For everything, it's very important, right? To know about this because we have kind of rules. Thank you. We have kind of rules, right? And I'm not talking about grammar rules, right? I'm talking about the plagiarism, right? Do you know something about it, David, about plagiarism?
Sorry, teacher.
Do you know something about plagiarism?
Sorry, teacher. I can't hear very well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, right now. Yes.
Okay. My question was if you know something about plagiarism.
No, I didn't hear that before.
About copyright?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, that's the point that we're going to take on count today, because it's similar, right? But it's on essays, right? So let's start. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see. Can you? Can you see my screen? David, can you hear me? David, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, please let me know if you can't, right? Because I had problems yesterday with my other class. So it was a completely mess, right? So please, when you can't, let me know, right? So today we're going to see, I'm going to enter from my cell phone too, right? In order to avoid this kind of problems. I don't want to have problems like yesterday. Okay, give me a second. Okay, now can you?
Yes, teacher, I can hear you.
Okay, now it's okay. I'm going to use my audio from my cell phone, right? Because my computer is have problems. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so today's lesson is about plagiarism, right? It's the same that the copyright, but this is about when we're going to write our essay, right? Sometimes we look for information on Google, right? And sometimes almost the whole time, right? There's a problem, right, with our essays, right? That we write and we forgot to write the name of the author, for example, right? So let's see, what is it? Okay, we have 7 kind of plagiarisms, right? It's the same that the copyright, right? It's almost the same. So we have the number 1, complete plagiarism, right? So can you read please number 1? Well, the whole paragraph.
Okay. This other type of plagiarism occurs when a writer submits someone else's work in their own name, paying somebody to write a paper for you, then handing that paper in with your name on it is an act of complete plagiarism, as it's stealing or borrowing someone's work and somebody it as your own. An example of complete plagiarism is submitting a research paper for English class that your older sister wrote and submitted when she took the class 5 years ago.
Okay, thank you. This is a short example, right? So the plagiarism, okay, the pronunciation is plagiarism, right? There, as I told you, we have 7 kinds of plagiarism, right? Today we're going to see only, I guess, 5. I don't remember if I put it, because the other 2 are the same, right? So this is those other 2 are for another kind of essays, right? So an example of a complete plagiarism is submitting a research paper. Okay, do you get it? What is a research paper?
Yes, it's an article written for maybe a magazine, a scientific magazine, I think.
Yes, yes, you got it. Okay, so for example, if you are going to present a kind of essay, right? What about if you, for example, you're not in the mood to write? So you tell to somebody to write your essay, right? But this is an act of plagiarism, right? Because it's not your work. So then, of course, if you have to check about your own resources, right? It's the same as you were stealing, for example. Okay, so we have to take care on that part. It's very complicated, right? For example, when you have if I'm going to give you homework, right? And I tell you, okay, you're going to look for a nosing lesson, right? That's gonna be your topic. But what about if maybe you don't have time, right, to do it? So then you're going to look on Google, right? You're going to look a complete essay about. Give me a second, please. So sorry. Okay, so as I was telling you, right? So then you're going to look it on Google Chrome, for example, and you're going to copy and paste, right? That's a complete plagiarism because it's not your work, right? Is it clear until this part?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So it was in case of you weren't, if you didn't know the meaning of research paper, right? So it's a kind of academic writing, right? But you already know, so we're going to pause it, right? We have another kind of plagiarism, right? This is a direct plagiarism. It's similar to complete plagiarism in that it's the same that number one, okay? It's almost the same, right? But this is over passing off your another writer's work as your own, right? For example, if you're going to see, I don't know, I'm going to give you the same homework, right? And you find the complete essay on Google, right? What happens if you, for example, don't know much about the lesson? So then you're going to copy the idea, and this part is the idea that you are taking from the author, for example, right? So then you take his or her idea, right, or ideas, and then you make it as if it were your own, right? So the difference between the two is how much the paper is plagiarized. The other part, in point number one, I was explaining you that is everything. Okay, the whole essay is not yours, but you're going to present as if, for example, it was yours, right? But this is a kind of part, right? So then you're going to only take the idea, or maybe, for example, in the complete plagiarism, right? Is a specific sections or paragraph, right? That we're going to include without crediting, right? Or even acknowledging the author, right? An example for this I can give you, for example, is dropping a line or two from sources directly into your work without quoting or citing the source, right? For example, you're going to copy, this is mine, right? So then you're going to copy, I don't know, the first line and the second one, or two statements, right? Or maybe the whole paragraph, and then you're going to paste in your essay, right? So that's direct plagiarism. It's only a short part, right? In between, for example, in this case, in number one, I'm sorry, in number one is the whole essay, right? But in this part, in direct plagiarism, it's only maybe two lines, two statements, one paragraph. Okay, it's a short, but there's also exists plagiarism, right? In this case, would be something like you take the idea of the owner, right? So if you're going to copy my I don't know, my slide, for example, then you're going to add a quotation mark, or you are going to cite in the source, right? Is it clear until this part?
Yes, maybe it's copied directly.
Yes, but in this case, we're going to take only two paragraphs. It's a short part of the whole essay.
Like maybe a citation, but
Yes,
without
yes, a citation without the
putting the
citation.
source.
Yes, yes, you got it. Okay, for example, if you write your essay, we wrote it on Google Docs, right? Do you remember about wolves? So then that's a good idea. So then I'm going to take your idea. I'm going to copy, I don't know, two statements, right? So I'm going to make this, for example, okay, because when you're going to enter to on Google Chrome, then it's going to appear something like this, right? So then I'm going to do this, okay, until this part. I'm going to copy, and in my next, well, in my Excel, we're going to suppose that this is going to be my essay, right? So then I'm going to paste, and that's all, okay? And I'm going to submit. But I'm not adding a quotation mark, right? Or I'm not setting to the author. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is my quotation mark, and then the correct way to put it is maybe, I don't know, Aline, comma, okay, and then the name of the author, for example, right? Do you got it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to continue. Okay, this is an interesting one because when I wrote argumentative essay, right? My teacher put me 0, right? So because I made a paraphrasing, right? Do you know what is a paraphrasing in Spanish, maybe?
To repeat maybe a word, a phrase several times in the same document, maybe. But I'm not
It's
sure.
something like that. For example, if you're going to explain something, right? Like the paraphrasing, right, is when you're going to explain me something, right? You're going to explain your idea in certain words, right? Then I take your idea and I change the words, right? As I understood, and then I share with someone else, right? That's the paraphrasing, okay? In Spanish is a parafraseo, okay? So, but that's not wrong, right? That's something that we always do. But the problem is when it's plagiarism, okay? So paraphrasing plagiarism is what happens when a writer reuses another's work and change a few words or phrases, right? It's a common type of plagiarism. This is very, very common, right? And there are teachers, for example, that don't take care about that part, but it's very important, right? Here's a picture, for example, that's what I found. Here is the complete idea, here is a complete essay, and then the person who is here is changing the words, right? Is not the idea. The idea is the same, but it's changing the word, right? So many students don't even realize it's a form of plagiarism. But if you're presenting someone else's original idea in your writing without crediting them, even if you are presenting it in your own words, is plagiarism, right? It's complicated to detect it, right? But I guess there also exists two applications that are going to help us to identify if there is some paraphrasing plagiarism, right? So we have to take care in this part. So it's not bad if we look on Google Chrome, right? And we look for resources, right? But we can take the idea, okay? But we should look for more ideas, right? So then when we're going to take more ideas, when we're going to take more ideas, then we're going to make a kind of summarize, right? In order to have our own idea, right? Our own essay, right? I don't know if you got it. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Okay. This is self-plagiarism. This is kind of funny for me because let's see, okay? You might be surprised to find out that you can plagiarize yourself, right? How, after all, your original thoughts are your own to use as your please, right? Yes, but with a caveat. Let's say you wrote an essay about the pros and cons of changing your city's zoning laws. Okay, this is the lesson, right? This is the topic, sorry, zoning laws. 2 years ago. So then you presented me, for example, if I gave you your homework and your essay was supposed to talking about zoning laws, right? Then you're present me it 2 years ago, right? But now, okay, I don't know, maybe you're in this case, you need to take resources about it. You need information about it. So then you take your idea, you take your essay, and then you present it again, right? And now you're writing a research paper about how adopting certain zoning laws has impacted on other cities in the past decade. Reusing, okay, so that's the point, right, of self-plagiarism. When you reuse your content, right, from your essay, and your research paper would be an act of self-plagiarism, right? So you can absolutely the same resources, and if you cite them properly, right? But you need to use quotation marks, right? You need to make even if it's yours, you need to do it, right? Because that's self plagiarism. Can you read, please?
Okay. Self-plagiarism can be an issue if you write personally. When you are commissioned to write for a client, the client owns that work. Reusing your own words for subsequent clients is plagiarizing your own work and can damage your professional reputation, as well as make your clients look bad.
Okay, that's what I explained you. When you reuse your own words, right? Your own essay, it's a kind of plagiarism, right? Of course, it's not too common, but there also, for example, when we're going to write our essay, then we need to see where are the resources from, right? So then we have to take care about this, but it's not too common, right? I didn't see a case about self-plagiarism, but there exists, of course, but it's not too common, right? So if you want to take your essay, right, then you need to add your own name, right, because you are the owner finally. Do you have a question?
No, teacher.
Okay. Then we have, this is the most common, right? Accidental plagiarism. Accidental plagiarism is perhaps the most common type of plagiarism because it happens when the writer doesn't realize they are plagiarizing another's work. And accidental plagiarism includes the following, right? So, for example, when we're going to forget to cite the sources in your work, in our work, not citing the resources correctly, and failing to put quotes around cited material, right? Even accidental plagiarism is subject to consequences such as failing your assignment. Um, this is a mistake that I made. So my consequence was I failed my assignment, right? So, for example, in my career, yes, it's very important, but also it's going to help you, right, to in order not to have this kind of problems, right? Because if the author realize this, it's going to be a completely problem, right? These are the consequences, right? Maybe you're telling teacher, why are you explaining me this? I guess it's not important, but it is, right? So can you read, please, the well, the whole page?
Okay. Consequences of plagiarism. Plagiarism can have serious consequences depending on the nature of the plagiarism. and the university or instructor's policy. Here are some possible consequences: academic probation, failure of the assignment, failure of the course, suspension, dismissal from the program or the institution.
Thank you. So these are the consequences, right? This is going to be very, right? For example, at my university, right? It's prohibited to have plagiarism, right? To make the plagiarism. So especially talking about my class, I'm going to take care about this, right? Because I received one essay that, as I told you, I have an app where the app recognized, right, the plagiarism. So I need to talk with the student, right? So then that's why I'm talking about this. This is prohibited in my class, right? Let's continue. This is how to avoid unintentional plagiarism, right? So can you read, please?
Okay. How to avoid unintentional plagiarism. Sorry. Before you write your works cited page, review the correct citation format for the style guide you are working with. If you are not sure which style guide to use, ask your instructor. Another way to avoid unintentional plagiarism is to be as true as possible with your citations. Although you don't need the cite facts that are common knowledge, er, error, err on the side of caution and cite any you are unsure about. Remember, something that's common knowledge in your field may not be common to people outside it.
Thank you. So there's some ways to avoid unintentional plagiarism. Okay, then as I told you, technology is so advanced. So then we have specifically apps to recognize it. And there also I have an option on Classroom, right? That it helped me to see if there is some paraphrasing, right? And it's automatically. That's the best part, right? So let's continue. This is a kind of tips, right? These are some tips. For example, you have to create your ideas, write your content and your own way. This is when I'm going to say, okay, you're going to write your essay, right? So then you're going to write about whatever you want. Of course, you need to see, you need to look on Google Chrome to see what is next, right? Some information, some dates, right? That's not the problem. The problem is when we're not going to use the quotation mark, the citations, right? The number, the name of our author, for example, right? It's better to always consult your guide, mentor, supervisor. They can advise on how to better write your content, right? You can ask me, right? You can use the apps. Okay, one is Grammarly. That is the best one, I guess. For me, is the best one. So then you can use it, right? And there's also a page. It is called, okay, this is the page. I don't know if you can, yes, you can. Okay, so then you can see how to write the site, right? We have a lot of, okay? So we're going to continue. Okay. Citation is the way to give proper credits to the person whose content you are borrowing. Can you imagine if you write your essay and it took too much time to do it, right? And then someone else copy your essay, your work that take you too much time to do it, too much effort to do it. So it's the worst part, right? Because you only copy and paste and that's all. But the truth is that it's very complicated to make our essays. So that's the reason of why we need to give, or we need to name the credits to the person who wrote the essay, for example, right? And online tools are a good way to identify and remove plagiarism, right? Um, this is the page, right? This is the name of the page, right? To remove plagiarism. This is similar to Grammarly. If you can use, if you want to see some more about this, right? And if you consider a sentence which is vital, try to rewriting the words in a meaningful way to avoid plagiarism. Okay, so this is important. For example, if you're going to take some ideas from internet, right? And what about what's going on if the idea is very important, right? In this case, right, the what I recommend is try to use an app for this, right? You can use Grammarly, right? Or you can look about more information about this, right? So everything to not, in order not to copy the idea, right? So this is what I recommend, okay? This is an essay segment, right? For example, we have reading is an essential part of learning and becomes easier with practice, okay? These are your words, then there's no plagiarism because are your words, right? But the next part what I'm going to read, okay, as you can see, it's in quotation marks, right? Uh, like many skills, your capacity to read becomes sharper and better the more you practice it, okay? This is the way that we're going to make the citation. We're going to use our quotation marks, okay, in this part. We're going to use our parentheses. We're going to add only the last name of our author. We're not going to add the name, right? Only the last name, the year of the publication, right? We're going to use a comma. We need a comma in this part too, right? Where is my pen? Okay, it's more, comma, the year of the publication, comma again. We're going to add a space, the number of the page. We're going to put a period, again, our space, right? The number of our page, and we're going to close our parentheses, right? That's the way that works the citation, right? And we have a reference list, right? For example, if we're going to make a kind of persuasive essay, right? We're going to put the last name. We're not going to use parentheses, only the last name, comma. This is the name, right? We're going to put the first letter of the name. We're going to put the period, parentheses, the year of the publication. And we're going to put the name of the book, right? And this is Open University Press, is the publication, is the como quien ha encabecillado quien ha publicado más o menos, okay? Who made the publication, right? So this is, if you put the quotation mark, okay, if you only use the quotation mark and then the name of the author, it's okay, right? But I need to see this part, right? Examples of plagiarism, copying a friend's work, right? This is very common. Buying a finished project from someone else, right? That's a kind of plagiarism because supposedly the owner was supposed to be you, for example, right? Having your parents or relatives to do your work for you, right? And copying and pasting someone's work into yours without citing the source, okay? Um, okay, that's all. Do you have any question?
No, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, so then if you're going, I'm going to give you homework, maybe from, I'm going to publish it on, for tomorrow, right? Because today I'm not going to have time. I have to go to my other work. So I'm going to give you your homework, right? And then you're going to see, right? You're going to take care about this part, right? It's prohibited to have plagiarism, right? We are going to try to avoid. As I told you, I had my university gave me my teacher gave me homework to make an essay, and accidentally I made plagiarism, right? So then the consequence was that I obtained suspension, right? Es bien importante esto del plagio porque lastimosamente si se llega a encontrar plagio, especialmente hablando en la clase, en mi clase, ¿ok? Yo sí voy a tomar en cuenta esto del plagio, ¿ok? Porque tampoco es justo que se copie el trabajo de alguien más sin dar o mencionar el nombre del autor, ¿ok? Así que vamos a tratar de evitar. Voy a publicarlo todo esto en la plataforma porque justamente encontré el trabajo de un estudiante que tenía altísimo plagio. ¿No? Entonces yo como profesora no puedo permitir esto, ¿ok? Es bien importante, incluso cualquier tipo de ensayos, ¿ok? Ya sea para presentar a alguna universidad, para presentar en algún trabajo, alguna propuesta de trabajo, es bien importante, ¿ok? Así que eso sería en cuanto a lo que es el plagio. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Ok. No es muy complicado. Es solo poner las quotation marks, okay, or parentheses, the year of the publication, the last name, and that's all, right? So we're going to continue with our practice, right? Can you please enter on classroom? ¿Estás teniendo problemas al ingresar, David, a classroom?
I can't find the link, teacher. No, I think I got it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So then you are here. I'm going to stop sharing, right? So we're going to continue, right? If you're going to find some information that is very important about your essay, right? Please be sure that you're going to add your quotation marks if it's necessary, right? Or well, if it's necessary to add the important statement, the important idea, right? So then if not, just look for another sources, right? You can continue, please.
Teacher, in this part, I was comparing similarities between wolves and dogs. what is the next part? I can start with the final paragraph, or I
Not
should
yet.
continue, or
You are, for example, in your first paragraph, right? Can you see what I'm spelling like?
yes.
Okay, and your first paragraph is your introduction, right? Then you have your this is your similarities, right? These are your similarities. Paragraph number 1 and paragraph number 2, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure if you already yeah, I guess it's this one. This is the difference between.
Yes.
Okay, as well as wolves, dogs protect their hunt and they insult you. Okay. If you want, you can write one more paragraph, right? Mentioning the differences, right? But we already have this one, but only if you want, right? But that's all, right? You can start writing your summaries.
Okay. There is there maybe an instructor or a certain way to start? Or...
And this is our structure, right? And our structure is about introduction, paragraph number 1 when we're explaining the similarities, paragraph number 3 when we're explaining the differences, right? But in our paragraph number 1, in our summary, we're going to present our idea with a transitional word, right? In order to give the understand that our reader, right, that this is the final paragraph, right? So I don't know if you want to see the last. Give me a second. I'm going to open my other slides, right? To finish our how is it called? Give me a second, please. I'm going to open it. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. I guess it's in this. Yes. Okay. As I told you on Wednesday, I guess it was, right? As you can see can you see my screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So we have our introduction, right? These 2 paragraphs are talking about the similarities, right? We have transitional words like additionally, right? And then we are talking about, no, 3, right? Until this part, we have 3 paragraphs, right? When we are explaining the similarities, right? In this case, about high school and college, right? When we're going to introduce our paragraph number 5th, right? For example, we are going to write while college does have students, right? We have 3 paragraphs talking about the differences, right? We have our transitional word, while. We have another one, in addition. Okay, and lastly, okay, we have 2 paragraphs, right? For example, in this paragraph, it says lastly, okay, this is talking about the final paragraph about the college. It's not the whole essay, right? This is the last one, Okay, this is the last one. So then you can write words, transitional words like finally, in conclusion, right? In summarize to end your paragraph, right? I don't know if it's clear. Do you get it? Or maybe I need to explain you one more time.
Yes, teacher. Sorry, my mic was off.
Oh, okay, thank you. So then you can continue, please.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
You can use words like in conclusion, right? I'm going to, I guess it's in this part. No, it is not. I'm going to add, give me a second. Okay, I can find it. Don't force it. Okay, this is, yes, I got it. Okay, I'm going to add at the end of our presentation, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. As you can see, David, I put it picture, okay, like in words in English, right? So then you can choose, for example, in conclusion, to summarize all together, in short, to sum up, in summary, briefly, to conclude, right? Or for example, you can use, this is for a result, right? But it's not a summary. But if you want for example, we're going to say that the reaction has a consequence and a result, then you can put as a result, as a consequence of, therefore, okay? Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Okay.
Sorry, teacher.
Can you hear me?
Yes, teacher. Sorry. I was making a question. But I think my
Okay.
microphone was off. I was saying that animals, sorry, they need to be protected, but I wasn't sure about writing this sentence. I wanted to say tanto como en los hogares como en su hábitat natural.
Okay, so this is the part that you want to, as well as at homes. Tanto como querías decir al principio.
Que, bueno, estaba comparando animales, lobos con perros, pero
Ajá.
quería decir que ellos deben ser protegidos, los perros tanto en los hogares y también los lobos en su hábitat natural, pero uniendo esas dos frases, como deben ser protegidos tanto en los hogares como en su hábitat natural.
Okay,
Pero no
I'm going
está.
to write this part. Oh
Yes.
no, I'm missing. Okay. As well at homes as in the natural. Maybe it would be better if you mentioned in this part the wolves, right? As well as at homes as in their natural habitats. So then you want to join two sentences with dogs, right?
Yes, by mentioning dogs and wolves.
Okay, it will be something like as well as at homes as in their natural habitat.
Or it's
You
not
can
clear.
maybe, we're going to, what do you think if we add, for example, compare word? Instead of saying as well as, right? Maybe you can use like, right? And that's gonna be our transitional word. We're going to raise the period and we're going to, for example, like, or maybe we cannot similarly, right? It sounds better, I guess, more formal. Similarly, and then you're going to mention your second statement, your second clause about the dogs, right? Because you already mentioned natural habitat, you mean that are talking about the wolves, right?
Yes. So it's better to talk
En
first
lugar
about
de,
wolves and
para
then
poder unir las dos oraciones, ¿ok? Si te das cuenta, estamos iniciando con as well at homes as in their natural habitat. Ok, so then, para poder unir, me parece súper prudente utilizar alguna palabra de transición. Hablando específicamente de compare esta parte, comparar. Ok, está en el recuadro de abajo, entonces vamos a utilizar una palabra de transición y luego vamos a poner nuestra segunda clause, ok? I don't know if that solved your question.
yes, but I'm not sure how to use it.
Ok, so tal vez podrías intentar dándome la oración completa. Vamos a ver cómo podríamos unir.
Oh, in Spanish, teacher, or in...
Dame las dos clauses en inglés y vamos a ver cómo se puede unir. Ok, entonces ¿te parece que primero pongas aquí tu primera clause? Y aquí tu what's going on? Y aquí vamos a poner la segunda, ¿ok? Para ver más o menos cómo es tu idea.
Okay. Dogs needs to be protected. And
Okay, esa es tu primera clause. That's your first clause, right?
yes, and
Okay.
wolves needs to be protected in the natural So I wanted to join these two clauses in
Okay.
one sentence, but I wasn't sure how to do it.
Okay, so we have dogs needs to, okay. In this part, okay, we're going to use, we're not going to use needs, only need, right? Because it's a group, right? It's like if we're talking about they, right? So we're going to raise the letter S. So it will be something like, okay, let me check. It will be something like, okay, we're going to start. I don't know if you want to. Okay, but David, I'm looking in this part and they need to be protected as well as. So I realized that you already wrote something similar, right? And they need to be protected as well as at homes as, okay, we're going to erase this part, right? It's not necessary because we're going to start by there, right? So it will be, oh, okay. Let's start saying, okay, I'm going to erase this part. I will change something like, and they need to be, okay, we're going to erase this part and, okay, and then we're going to put maybe, oh no, and we're going to use contrast, okay. Okay, maybe we can add both instead of saying and. We're going to use a period, then, or transitional word, both, right? Dogs need to be protected. In this part, we can use another transitional word because as you can see, we already finished our first clause. Okay, so then we're going to choose another transitional word as well as, okay, as well as, and then we're going to add our second statement. Okay, this, okay. It will be something like that. I don't know if that was your idea.
Oh, yes, teacher. That sounds better. That
Yes.
sounds really better.
When we are going to introduce, okay, your best guide is going to be your transitional word, right? We're going to try to use them as, I don't know, the best as possible, right? So it will be something like both dogs, both. Aquí en esta parte tal vez podríamos añadir una coma o cambiar la palabra de transición. Por decir both, podemos decir algo más formal. Yo escogería, I will choose similarly, comma. Dogs need to be protected as well as wolves need to be protected in their natural habitat. Okay? Do you get it?
Yes, I got it, teacher. Yes.
Okay. So that's your conclusion?
Yes, I'm not sure if that's a note, but I think yes.
Okay, we're going to, in conclusion, wolves and dogs are amazing animals. They have similarities and differences, which makes them special animals. Similarly, dogs need to be protected as well as wolves need to be protected in their natural habitat. Okay. Yes, it's okay, but you're forgetting about something. I don't know if you can recognize your mistake. It's not a mistake, but we need to include something to finish our complete essay. I don't know if you got it. Yes. Okay. Okay. So that's all. Do you have any question?
Yes. Why Google tries to correct that part when I write and, comma, they?
In this part?
Yeah, yes.
Why? What did you put?
And, comma, and they. But Google tries to correct to this way, and they.
So you were supposed to add a comma.
I thought it was correct, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I don't get the idea, right? So me dices que querías poner coma y Google.
Perdón, teacher. Es que creo que habíamos puesto de que se ponía el and, la coma y luego they, pero el traductor Google trata de corregirlo a and they, o sea, todo sin coma. Entonces no entiendo por qué es eso, o hay otra regla, o estamos correctos y Google se está equivocando.
¿Eso está configurado desde tu computadora?
Sí, no lo debe usted.
Ok, voy a compartir mi pantalla acá en esta parte, pero no me aparece algún error. A lo mejor te apareció, pero con doble espacio y ahí tal vez te podría corregir, pero me parece que todo está bien. Incluso
Qué
si
raro.
te das cuenta, me aparece, pero son errores de acá arriba, digamos, ¿no? Que no tienen nada que ver. Pero es por
Bueno,
defecto. O sea, está súper bien, no hay ningún problema. O sea, pasa de que a veces había mencionado de que es bien importante de que sigamos las reglas. ¿No? O sea, decir, if I'm going to use a comma, then I need to add an space, only one, okay? But as you can see, I put it two, okay? So then Google is going to correct me, right? So it's comma, space, the transitional word in this case, comma, space, and we're going to finish our class.
okay, teacher.
Okay, but it's not wrong. It's okay, right?
Okay, teacher.
So I'm going to put a material, right, in class. So then we're going to see, I'm going to give you the homework, right? Yes, this is what, okay. I'm going to upload maybe tomorrow at morning, right? And that will be everything, okay? The next week we're going to see something about persuasive. I'm not sure if persuasive or argumentative. I don't know if you heard about it.
Persuasive, argumentative?
Yes.
No, teacher.
These are more complex, right? I'm going to show you. Okay, let me show you. I have an app. Okay, I'm going to show you. It's searching. Okay, give me a second. It is opening. Okay. I'm so sorry. My computer is so slow. I'm going to write another one. So if you have any question, right? When you're going to write your essay, I'm going to show you this page. Okay. Okay, this app is the best one, okay, if you are going to write your essay, maybe in order to what I recommend, right? First, try your essay, right? This needs to be a draft, right? First, it's your draft. Do you remember? That's the first step, right? Then you're going to pass on Google Docs, right? That's going to be the part that you're going to submit, because it we're supposed to be the clearly, right, the best, right, the part when you erase your mistakes, you change the word, everything, right? For example, I guess this one. Okay. Okay, as you can see, I have a lot of mistakes. This is not my work, right? I was writing another, I was looking for another essay, right? And I was comparing the application with another one. So then this app is fantastic, right? Because there's gonna give you the correctness, the clarity, the engagement, the deliver, and also there's a part when we're going to identify the plagiarism, right? So for example, as I told you, but this is getting the premium, right? It's not necessary because I have another page, another app who is going to tell me if there's exists some plagiarism, right? Even though I'm going to in Google Docs, right? It appears me, right? Not about plagiarism, but yes, it notify me that in your homework, for example, only an example, there is fair phrases. Okay, this is what I explained you. Where is it? Okay, this one. Okay, so at the moment that you are going to present me your homework, automatically it's going to appear me like if it were a plagiarism, a kind of a paraphrasing, right? So we're going to take care on there, and we're going to see this one. Okay, if you want to be sure before to send me your homework, before to submit, maybe you can enter to the app, okay? And you are going to correct some spelling mistakes, right? Or maybe the order of the clause, okay? So I'm not sure if I'm going to give you a specific topic, right? I guess yes, but I'm not sure, right? I'm going to see what's going on. And do you have another question, maybe? Maybe a lesson that you didn't understand, because we have time. We're still on time. So I don't know if you want to see a lesson that you didn't get it.
No, teacher, I don't have questions.
Okay. We're going to practice, okay, our transitional words. Okay, I'm going to give me a second. No, this is not. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so here we have a short text, right? This is an opinion about a whole. It's not a whole essay, but it's only an opinion about it, right? So then, as you can see, there's some spaces, right, that are in blank. So then you're going to choose the correct option, the best that's going to be the best for you, right?
Okay.
So you can choose, and please let me know.
Okay. Is there a link on Classroom, or where can I find the link?
No, just tell me what is the best option, and I'm
Okay.
going to do it from my computer.
Okay, teacher. Sorry, I thought I should. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Maybe in my opinion.
Okay. Okay, let's see. In my opinion, top sports people such as football players or basketball players have huge salaries, and this promotes a lot of debate. Okay, but they don't earn too much. Okay, in my opinion, top sports people such as, do you think is the best one in my opinion? Because we have secondly, I don't think it's secondly because it's the beginning of the paragraph. Would be
Okay.
nowadays maybe,
Yes, maybe nowadays.
or what do you think? It's only my opinion, right? Because you're going to tell me. I'm just giving a guide, giving you a guide. But then
Okay.
finally you have to give me the best option, right?
Maybe we can change it to nowadays, and at the end, I review it before to finish,
Okay.
and then I change or decide not to change or change, maybe.
Okay, it's okay, don't worry. So then, top sports people such as football players or basketball players have had salaries, and this promotes a lot of debate. But do they earn too much? Okay. Then we have the salaries are fair. Okay.
Firstly, I think.
Okay. Firstly, their salaries are fair. Okay. The career of a professional sports player is short.
Sorry, and that part. What is the meaning of fair, teacher? Sorry.
Excuse me?
Fair. What is the meaning of the word fair? Their
In this
salaries
case,
are
it's
fair.
explaining the salary are fair. Okay. Como justo. Ok. Como quita, claro, si pongo, por ejemplo, where's my text? Fairly, pongo fair, okay? We are talking about something that it's okay. It's, we have a kind of picture like this. Can you see?
Fair? No.
Yes.
I.
Como,
Good.
como que es justo.
Okay. Yes. Oh.
Firstly, their salaries are fair. Okay.
Okay, and maybe podemos ver la opción 2. Quisiera tal vez ver qué otras opciones hay. Es que no
Okay.
sabía el significado. Um, Teacher, ¿cuál es el meaning of sum up?
To sum up is when we're going to end our essay, right? It's in conclusion, maybe. The similar word is in conclusion.
Okay. Maybe a summary.
Yes,
Or,
yes. We are going to use it at the end of our paragraph, for example.
Okay, maybe in that case, in my opinion, we can change it to in my opinion.
Okay. Then the career of a professional sport player is short, right? They usually retire when they are in their 30s, right?
Okay, in 3, we can put firstly.
Okay.
And
many of them have to retire earlier because they get injured and have to stop playing. Okay.
Maybe in addition.
In addition,
Yes.
okay. Do you got it? What is injured?
Yes, to be hurted.
Hurt. Yeah, to be hurt. Okay. Let's see number 5. Sports stars are celebrities, and all celebrities lose their privacy. Journalists, paparazzi, and fans follow them everywhere.
Okay. Secondly, maybe.
Okay. Yes. And they want to get pictures or talk to them all the time. Now, anyone can take photos with their mobile phone and publish them at any moment on their social media accounts.
And maybe moreover.
Okay. And number 7, top professional. We have 2, right? Top professional sports players have the salaries they deserve because their careers are much shorter, and because during those years their personal lives are affected by their popularity. Okay, so we have 2.
Okay, maybe in to sum up,
Okay,
and 8 is I believe.
okay. So let's read. Nowadays, top sports people, such as football players. Okay, do you want to make any change?
I think no.
Okay. Secondly, sports stars are celebrities, and all celebrities lose their privacy. Okay. 30s. In addition, okay, let's see. Do you want to check your answers, or you want to make any change?
Maybe check answers.
Okay, let's see. My goodness. Yes, very good. Very good. You understood very well, right? Okay, do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Is it clear? Of course it is, because you get a 100. Okay. Okay. So we're going to stop in here, please. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So do you have any question?
I don't know, but sorry, teacher. Do you know maybe a structure or a specific structure when I want to apply to a university, maybe?
Oh yes, of course. I have a lot of. There is as I told you, there exists a lot of essay, right? And it's going to depend about what are you going to be focused on, right? So I'm going to, maybe, tal vez podamos hablar de esto el día lunes. Te puedo explicar, o sea, voy a explicar en general, ¿no? Pero ¿quieres específicamente para universidades?
De hecho, sí. De hecho, estoy haciendo todo esto de inglés porque quisiera aplicar a una universidad. Entonces, fuera genial si tal vez pudiera practicar con esa específica estructura o esas clases de palabras para poder estar más preparado.
Te voy a mostrar un modelo que yo preparé justamente no para una universidad, era para un college, y justamente lo logré, gracias a Dios lo logré. Más o menos cómo fue la estructura. y voy a preparar entonces para el día lunes, porque sí es que es dependiente, ¿ok? Tal vez si te puedo ayudar en eso, porque justamente yo pasé por algo similar. Entonces, voy a ver más o menos de qué tipo, es que depende mucho, sí, pero de que hay algo seguro es de que todas las universidades, dependiendo de la universidad, te piden un cierto tipo de ensayo, ¿ok? Si estás pensando, por ejemplo, tendría que ser una carta de, no sé si de motivación, porque te piden carta de motivación, carta para solicitar, de solicitud. Entonces, tal vez si me podrías dar hasta mañana en la mañana, me avisas más o menos de qué tipo, porque varía, dependiendo de la universidad, varía bastante. No es lo mismo en todas las universidades. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, te pueden pedir carta de motivación, te pueden pedir otra de solicitud, ¿ok? Para solicitar becas. Es que hay hartísimas, ¿ok? Entonces nunca podría acabar de explicarte en realidad. Entonces, ¿te parece si me explicas más o menos a qué estás apuntando? ¿Qué te está
Sí,
pidiendo la universidad?
varias de esas pedían, o sea, no, bueno, he visto varias opciones de becas, pero entonces la mayoría, o bueno, varias de ellas pedían una carta de motivación
Ujú.
o por qué quieres estudiar en esta universidad, más o menos.
Esa es la carta de presentación. Como te había mencionado, la mayoría probablemente preguntan por lo que es la carta de motivación. Entonces, lo que podríamos hacer sería más o menos, a lo mejor si te pudieran pedir algo más, me lo puedes enviar hasta mañana en la mañana, cosa de que yo prepare el material y te voy a mostrar el día lunes porque justamente yo envié mi carta de motivación y ellos te envían a la semana más o menos de que te reciben, ¿no? Entonces, eso sería todo. Y creo que, pero la más importante es la carta de motivación porque va a determinar si la universidad te acepta o no.
Sí.
Entonces voy a preparar todo eso para el día lunes y te voy a explicar si puedes darme más detalles para que yo también te pueda ayudar.
Ok, teacher, voy a buscar las convocatorias, porque en la mayoría de esas sí decía carta de motivación o un
Si quieres,
ensayo.
te puedo pasar a tu correo. No sé si ya te has decidido por alguna universidad en específico. Te puedo
No, la
mandar
verdad.
a tu correo. Pero creo que solo es de college, porque en realidad lo que yo postulé fue un college, porque una universidad es extremadamente cara. Entonces, justamente yo este año me tengo que ir, ¿no? Aproximadamente en unos, yo creo que a mediados de año, más o menos, hasta preparar y todo. Pero sí he buscado una página autorizada, ¿ok? Se llama, acá en Cochabamba, se lo conoce como Education USA. Ellos me han ayudado con todo lo que es el proceso, ¿ok? Entonces te explica absolutamente todo lo que te puedas imaginar. Incluso se contactan contigo para tener una entrevista, ¿no? Entonces es lo más fácil. Ahora voy a verificar y te lo voy a preguntar quienes han sido mis mentores en algún momento acerca de cómo podemos, si específicamente universidades, tengo hartísimos folletos de todo esto porque yo también estuve en ese proceso. Entonces te los voy a enviar todo. Te voy a pedir que por favor me envíes toda la información, todo lo que te vayan a pedir. Adicionalmente, te voy a enviar hasta mañana en la mañana a tu correo electrónico o tal vez por WhatsApp toda esta lista. Es una lista gigante de a las universidades o los colleges que puedes ingresar y que te dan becas y todo eso, ¿ok?
Ok,
Pero
teacher.
sería hasta mañana en la mañana que me envíes para que yo vaya buscando, porque yo ya en la tarde trabajo, entonces ya no voy a tener tiempo.
Ok, voy a buscarlo hoy día. Bueno, estaba viendo varias universidades de una página que se llama Tu Beca Bolivia y que tienen una lista de estas becas, pero sí pensaba aplicar unas dos que eran la Chevening y la de Nueva Zelanda, pero también apliqué a unas del gobierno que no me salieron bien porque no me aceptaron. Pero
Ok,
en esas tres sí me decía eso, de la carta de motivación.
sí, porque
Y
la parte de motivación es lo que determina absolutamente todo, entonces hay que estructurarlo súper bien. Voy a enviarte a tu correo Ok, me gustaría tal vez platicar más sobre este tema porque yo he pasado por lo mismo. Entonces, tal vez si pudiéramos darle un énfasis el día lunes sería espectacular porque justamente ahorita tengo otro grupo, ok, pero sí te voy a enviar, ok, te voy a enviar todo lo que a mí me ha ayudado para poder escoger a qué college más o menos
Ok,
poder
teacher.
yo inscribirme y ahí te aparece un montón de becas, ¿ok? Pero es una página autorizada por el gobierno, eso es lo bueno. O sea, no es una página que se les ha ocurrido tal vez a algunas personas hacer y ya. Es una página que está específicamente focalizada en quienes quieran irse a estudiar al extranjero. Pero esto es solo de Estados Unidos. No sé si
Ah,
igual estás interesado.
la verdad no había considerado Estados Unidos por el hecho de que, bueno, usualmente es un poquito más caro si vas a Estados Unidos,
Eso
pero
es lo malo, pero igual hay becas, hay un montón de becas porque yo me estoy yendo, pero como un tipo de beca más o menos. Entonces me reduce bastante los gastos.
teacher, una pregunta. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre una universidad y un college? Pensé que eran lo mismo.
Pasa de que la universidad te sale al año unos $20,000. El college lo que haces es como un instituto que está avalado por la universidad. Entonces, para reducir los costos, primero la gente lo que hace es ir a un college y después del college ya hace el traspaso a la universidad para que se les disminuya los gastos. Y el college tiene una duración de 2 a 3 años y ya pasa ese lapso de tiempo, te vas a la universidad donde ya terminas de hacer, pero sí es caro, pero igual puedes convalidar con el tema de becas y todo eso. Así que sí, de que se puede, se puede. Entonces, eso es lo que yo voy a hacer, por ejemplo, estoy entrando en college, después voy a pasar ciertas materias para que en la universidad me las convaliden y ya no tenga que pagar un extra, digamos. Es menos que la universidad, donde te dan las materias más básicas, entonces ya de ahí te pasas a la universidad.
Ah, ok. Ah, bueno. No sabía de ese sistema.
Es
Ok.
que es extenso, pero te lo voy a enviar a tu correo. Igual y cualquier duda que tengas, me preguntas por WhatsApp porque pasó por lo mismo, digamos, ¿no? Entonces, eh, así para que te pueda ayudar y aconsejar y todo eso.
Sí, teacher, sería genial, porque yo ahorita sí quiero, o sea, más, todo este tiempo me estaba preparando para eso y sí necesitaría bastante ayuda. Así que gracias.
No te preocupes, voy a ayudarte en lo que pueda, ¿sí? Porque pasó por lo mismo. Entonces es un poco
Ok,
minucioso, pero te voy a ayudar, ¿sí? No te preocupes. Solo que sí
ok.
me envías los datos para que te pueda ayudar, porque tengo justamente Education USA es lo que me ha ayudado bastante. ¿No? Entonces me podrías tú avisar, te voy a enviar de todos modos las alternativas de los college y ya de ahí podrías hacer tu traspaso a la universidad.
Ok,
Pero
teacher.
vamos a ver por diferentes alternativas. Sin embargo, te voy a seguir ayudando. ¿Está bien?
Gracias, teacher. Ok,
Don't
entonces,
worry, te voy a enviar ahora dos encuestas. I'm going to send you two polls, right? Number one is about satisfaction, and the other one is polls that we see at 3 days per week, right? So, okay, number one, no sé si te aparece la encuesta número 2.
no, teacher.
Ok, dame un segundo. Ok, ahora sí, me imagino que ya, ahora sí.
Ah, todavía, teacher.
Oh,
Ahora
¿ahora?
sí, sí.
Ok. Entonces, me envías esta mañana en la mañana, voy a preguntar a quienes me han ayudado básicamente con todo este proceso. Es bien pesado, pero se puede. ¿Ok?
Ok, teacher. Gracias.
Ok. Don't worry. See you on Monday. Bye.
Okay, bye, teacher. Good night.
Good night.